Are you still writing proposals manually and wasting 8 to 10 hours per week? In today's video, we're going to break down this proposal automation that uses human-in-the-loop functionality for review and approval. This automation begins by capturing project details via a submission form, calculates the total cost of the project. In our proposal agent, we generate project descriptions and milestone descriptions. We copy our existing proposal template. We update that template. We send that template via email where the human can provide feedback onto the original proposal. AI then checks that feedback and sees if it's been approved or declined. If the proposal has been declined, we send it to our revision agent, which takes the feedback from our approval email and the original output from the proposal agent, makes the necessary changes, copies the file once again, updates that template, and then sends it back to us for human approval. We then, once approved, we then check that feedback again, shoot it through the approval branch, download the PDF, send an email to the customer, log it into our Google Sheet, and then download that proposal PDF into a folder for documentation. So let's show a quick demo on how this automation works, and then we'll break it down node by node. Let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and click on Execute Workflow where our submission form is going to pull up. These are all the proposal details that we need to quickly fill out. So I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll be right back. Here we are. We filled out the submission form. We got our client's name, Tom Jerry. What is the client's email? It's tom@example.com. The kind of project is a closet remodel. The client wants a full closet remodel, including custom shelves and cabinetry. How much does the material cost? We put $4,000. We're going to mark this up about 20%. The job will take 80 hours to complete, which is roughly 2 weeks, and then we'll charge $100 an hour. So let's go ahead and click submit. We'll go back to our workflow. We see that it's triggered. The totals have been calculated. Our proposal agent is now generating the project descriptions and the milestone descriptions. Once that's done, our project and timeline are going to be set. Our proposal template is being copied. Once it's copied, we're going to update that template, and now it's being sent over for approval. So let's go check out our email. Here in our email, we see that our proposal document is ready for final review. So we're going to go ahead and click this link. So here's our proposal. We're going to look at all the information. Tom Jerry, tom@example.com, closet remodel. This is the project description that our proposal agent generated. I like everything in here. Looks good. Here's our project timeline. It's going to take 2 weeks. We have 4 different milestones with descriptions. Everything looks good. Our math is good. Our terms and conditions are good. Perfect. So let's say I didn't like one thing on here. So let's say I didn't like days 13 and 14. I didn't like the description and I wanted that to be changed. We're going to go back to our email. We're going to click on respond and we're going to say change, not approved. Change the descriptions for day 13 to 14. Let me just double check that that's correct. Yep, days 13 and 14. And then we'll go ahead and click submit. We'll go back to our workflow. We'll see that it checked the feedback. It sent it down the decline branch, which is good. Now it's revising days 13 and 14, copying the file once again, creating the new proposal, sending it over to us. Let's go check this one out. So here we are. This is the second email with our revised proposal. So we're going to click on the link and now we're going to quickly scroll down. We know everything else hasn't changed. That's how the agent was prompted. So now we got days 13 and 14. So let's compare to the original document. So finishing touches applied, including paint or stain touch-ups. This is the original one. It says final finish work touch-ups. So we know that it changed and then everything else has stayed the same. Perfect. So now we like this proposal and now we want to approve it. So we're going to go ahead and click respond. We're going to say approved. You could really say anything. The agent's trained on just knowing what the approval is. So we're going to go ahead and click submit. We'll go back to our workflow. We'll see that it went to the approved branch. It's downloading the PDF, uploading it to our PDF folder for documentation, sending the proposal over to the client, and then logging it into our Google CRM. So let's go check our CRM really quick. Here we are. It says Tom Jerry. Everything was populated. We got the total, the proposal was sent, and the day it was sent. And we'll go back to our download folder or our PDF folder. We see that the PDF is here. Finalized PDF. Perfect. And then let's go check our email to make sure that we sent it to the customer. Perfect. So here we are in our email. In our sent section, we see that we said, hi, Tom Jerry. Thank you for your interest in our closet remodel. Please find attached our proposal for your review. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And then we attach the proposal PDF for the client to sign. So hopefully by now you guys are seeing the power of these automations and how we can take a task like writing proposals that takes 1 to 2 hours and dwindle it down to about 2 to 3 minutes. If you guys want to build this for yourselves, I provided a full resource guide and all the templates that I used in this video in a link in the description. A quick recap before we break this down. We submitted our project details in a submission form, had an AI agent generate project descriptions and milestone descriptions, created a proposal, sent that proposal via email to be reviewed. We revised the proposal. Once we approved it, we created a PDF, sent the proposal to the customer, logged it into our Google Sheets, and then uploaded that PDF into a proposal folder for our own documentation. Now let's break this proposal automation down node by node. Now let's break down what's going on from beginning to when we collect our project details in our form submission trigger to the end where we send the customer an email and log all the data into a Google Sheet. We'll start off with our submission form where we set the form title as proposal details. We fill out the form description. So it says fill this out and we'll generate the proposal. And then we just add our form elements, which is all the fields. So we have the client name, the client email, what kind of project it is. Here we added a drop down so we can change what kind of project it is. So we have built-in cabinets, closet remodel, shelving, and then custom/other. Then we have the project description, which is what the client wants, how much the material will cost, the markup percentage. So we have a couple options here. So we'll have another drop down menu. We'll go 20% all the way to 50%. We have labor hours, which the element type is a number, and then similar to hourly rate, which is also a number. And then we have finally how long the project will take. So we'll put 1 week, 2 weeks, just depending on how long the job will take. Now we'll hop into the set node where we're going to take the data from the form, put it into a camel case just so it's easier throughout the whole workflow to transfer all the data over and it's all in the same field names. So all we do is just add client name in camel case and then drag over the input from the submission form into the expression here. We'll do that for all the fields that we get from the submission form. Next, we're going to calculate all the totals from what we put into our submission form. So using a code node, we're going to put this code in and we are going to get 4 totals: the material total, the labor total, the grand total, and the deposit, which is going to be put into our proposal. Now let's hop into the proposal agent node where we are providing it with 2 prompts. One is a user message that gives it specific details like the project type, project description, and the timeline. And then we have the system message, which is how the agent is trained to write out these proposal descriptions and milestone descriptions. We have this agent connected to a Sonnet 4.5 chat model. I personally think Sonnet 4.5 is the best at writing out emails, project descriptions, milestone descriptions, and proposals in general. We also have our agent connected to a structured output parser because we want our agent to provide 9 specific fields that we are going to put into the following node. If we don't do this, our agent will just put out one big field called output, and we can't really do anything with that data. So we need to split it up so that we can transfer it into our set node and use for the rest of the automation. Next, let's hop into our second set node. In this set node, we're setting the project description and the timeline. So specifically all the milestone days and their descriptions. So we'll have the final project description, and then we'll have each milestone and its description along with that. So that was outputted from the proposal agent, and now we're just setting the exact data that we need. So we have 9 different fields that we'll set. Again, keeping that camel case structure just to make sure all our data is normalized and clean while we feed it into the rest of the workflow. So here you guys can see we have final project description, milestone 1 description, and that goes on all the way down to milestone 4 and milestone 4 description. We need to set this data now so that we can reference it in the following nodes. Now we're going to hop into our copy file node. This is where we're going to copy the file ID of our proposal template. So to quickly set this up, we're going to connect to your Google credential. You're going to click on resources, the file, copy is the operation. You're going to select by ID. And so I'm going to show you really quick where to grab this ID from. So here we are in our proposal template. We're going to quickly go up to the search bar, and where it says D/, anything after D/, we're going to grab all that right before it says /edit. And that is our file ID. So we're going to quickly copy that and then hop back into n8n. Now we're back in n8n, and then we just copy and paste over that file ID. So we'll always have that hard coded in there. So that it'll always copy this exact file. Then we're going to go into the file name, and we're just going to quickly name it so that it's always dynamic. I just made it super simple. I dragged from the submission form, I just grabbed the project type and the client name. So this one just says closet remodel proposal for Tom Jerry. Then we just have to select copy in the same folder, and then we can hop into the next node. So now it's actually time to replace all our placeholders in our template with what our proposal agent generated. So we're going to hop into this update docs node. We're going to select our credential. We're going to have the resource set as document. The operation is update. We're going to drag the file ID from the previous node because this will be dynamic, and every time you copy the file, it'll have a new ID. So we want to make sure that we are updating the file that was just copied. And then here you're going to see the object is text. The action is find and replace text. So the old text is the ones that we had in our proposal template that are all double bracketed. So we're going to need to input each one of these into n8n along with dragging in the dynamic expressions from the previous nodes. So for example, we have text, date. Date is hard coded in there. So all we had to do for date is have the double brackets as the old text. The easiest way to do this is to just copy and paste from our template. So just copy this over, put it into n8n as the old text, and that's the easiest way to do it to make sure that there's no mistakes. From there, the new text is just set as, for this one, is always be dynamic to the current date. So we just put in this format right here. And then for the rest of them, it's just all copy and pasting and then dragging in the matching field. I selected match case for all of them. And then this is kind of the most tedious part of building out this workflow, is getting all these fields set so that it could be replaced. And then once that's complete, this is what your template should look like. So here we are in the filled out template. Obviously, you guys see that all those placeholders have been replaced. There's no more double brackets. It's all the finalized proposal from the agent. Everything that needed to be replaced has been replaced. Just to show you guys what it looked like from the template again. Here it is with all the double brackets and placeholders. Now we have to send this proposal off to be reviewed via email. Hopping into our email node, we're going to make sure that our Google credentials set up. Our resource is going to be message. The operation is going to be send and wait for response, because we are going to send this email and wait for us to give feedback on the proposal. The subject is super simple. We just dragged in the client's name and put in approval required, new proposal 4. And then for the message, we just made a super simple message that says proposal document is ready for review. We put some of the information on there, client name, the type of project, the total, and the deposit. And then we also put a link for the proposal so that you can review it and then put it in your feedback. The last thing we did here was we appended the n8n attribution, and then that feedback that comes from this email will be sent into our check feedback node. And in this node, we are taking the text that is coming from our email node, and we are putting it into 2 categories. So we're either putting it into approved, which we have here. It says this is a system prompt to justify whether it's approved or declined. And this simply reads, the email has been reviewed and been accepted as is. Use this message when the message clearly gives a final yes, approved, and permission to proceed with no requested edits or extra info needed. And then there's just some example phrases so we can learn from it and just continue to give us a good output. And then the same thing, there's a decline category. If we open this up, we'll see the email has been reviewed, but the human requests modifications before approval or is not ready to approve. Use this when the response rejects, delays, or asks for changes, more details, or a revised version before moving forward. And then again, just some example phrases. So once we have that, depending on what the response is, they'll either shoot it to the approved branch or the decline branch. For now, we're going to move to the decline branch so we can go through our revision agent. Our revision agent also has 2 prompts. It's pretty much set up the exact same way as our proposal agent. The only thing is different is the user message. So we just take what needs to be reviewed. So we take everything from our set project description and timeline node, and we input all those fields. And then we also input the feedback from the human, which we get from our text class or our classifier node. And then our system message is essentially all the same, except our overview is a little different. So now this is, you are an expert proposal writer, specifically project descriptions and project timelines. Your job is to take the incoming proposal description and project timeline and revise them based on the feedback the human submitted. So here in our demo example, we saw that it said not approved, change the description for day 13. So that was what we put into the user prompt along with all our project timeline and description. And so it outputted that it didn't change anything, but it did change the days 13 and 14 description. So this revision agent is also connected to the exact same structured output parser and same chat model. So nothing else changes here because we fill that right back into our set project description and timeline so it can update the new template. Then it'll send it through the loop again, copying the file, updating the new proposal, sending it for our approval. Once we get that approved, it checks the feedback, and then now we're going to move on to downloading the PDF. Now that we've approved the template, we want to download a PDF file of that template. So we're going to open up our download file node, a Google Drive node. We're going to select our credential. We are going to file as the resource, operation download, and then we're going to grab the ID from the update template node. So this document ID, and we're just going to paste it in there. The output file and field. So we're going to get a binary data. So we want it to be proposal, and then a Google file conversion. We're going to turn it into a PDF, and then none of this stuff really matters. We're just going to make sure that this at least says PDF, and then the output should look like this. It should say proposal in a binary data field. Once that file is downloaded, we're going to open another Google Drive node called upload file. And here we're going to upload that PDF that we just downloaded into a proposal folder for our own documentation. So here we just need to make sure, once again, you have a Google Drive node API connected. The resource is the file. Operation will be upload. The input data field name, this is important. This needs to be proposal because it needs to match the PDF that you downloaded. And then file name, we'll just do copy file name. So like we'll go back to, we'll click out of this. If you guys go to, you can click schema as well, and then go to copy file, and then just copy over this name. So we could just have it the same name as the PDF. The parent drive, you'll put my drive, and then whatever folder that you want to save these in. And then once you execute that step, you'll have the PDF uploaded into your proposal folder. After we download the PDF as well, we want to send an email to the client with the approved PDF of the proposal. So here's a super simple, we connect our Gmail API. We just need to make sure that it's connected. We are going to send a message, and then 2 is going to be the set field. So all the way from the beginning of the workflow, we are going to grab the set fields. We're going to grab their client email. And then for the subject, we are just going to put proposal from your company and then set it for the type of project and then the client. Email type will be text. And then this is just a super simple email that I just created. Hi, Tom, Jerry. Thank you for your interest in our closet remodel. Please find attached your proposal for your review. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Best regards. We're going to append the n8n attribution, and then we just need to make sure that we add an attachment and that the attachment field name is the proposal. So that'll come directly from the download PDF node. It'll attach that proposal into the email. And here's what the email will look like. Here we are in our outbox, and we see that this email was sent following the exact template that we had in our n8n node. And here's the proposal that was attached as well. This was the finalized one that we approved, not the original one that we sent for approval. Once that's done, we're on to the final step, which is logging this into our Google Sheet for documentation and knowing the status of the proposal. So into here, we'll log everything into our Google Sheet, connect our Google Sheets API, sheet within a document, append row. It'll be, the document will be our ProFlow proposal system. We will click proposals as the sheet. We'll match each column manually, and then we'll just make sure we match all the fields. So we have client name. We'll go back all the way to set fields. We'll grab all this information, we'll grab the project type, the project description. So everything is from set fields, but description is from the set project description and timeline. And then the total is obviously the grand total from our calculate totals. The status will just change to proposal sent. We'll only have one option there. And then the current date of when that proposal was sent. So once that's all said and done, this is what the final document should look like. So we have the client's name, his email, project type, the description, the total, has the proposal been sent? And then I think I accidentally, yep, I deleted it. So then you have the date there. So there we have it, a full proposal automation system that will save you up to 1 to 2 hours per proposal. If you want help implementing this for your business, or you want something a little bit more custom, feel free to book a call with me. The link is in the description, or visit my website, Deep-Rooted AI. If you guys want to learn how to build a system like this, or you're just interested in n8n, feel free to join my friend Nate's free school community, AI Automation Society. If you're looking to start a business with AI and surround yourself with people succeeding in the space, then I highly recommend joining Nate's paid school community, AI Automation Society Plus. Links to both communities will be in my description, and I hope to see some of you guys in there soon. All right, if you guys made it this far in the video, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. Also, feel free to drop some comments below on what you guys would like to see me build next. Thank you for making it this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, if you're still there, something I like to do at the end of all my videos is pray over you guys, my audience. I know that this is a little weird, so that's why I put it at the end of the video. If it makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to click off. I do this because I genuinely care about every person watching this video, so let's go ahead and pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for my audience, Lord. Thank you that you just have created us all with a unique purpose. Lord, I pray a blessing over my audience, that you watched over them, that you protect them, Lord. Lord, I pray that you help them just find their purpose, and that if they find their purpose, just lay it at your feet, Lord. Lord, have us put all our trust in you and just watch you do amazing things. I pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, guys. See you in the next one.